Okay, welcome back everybody. We're going to do a pod review today on this pod right here, and this is called the Tabasco pepper, and it just broke off my stem. That's a good, I'm glad it did that, because that's a good way for you to identify Tabasco peppers. They will literally fall off the stem like it just did very easily. So when you go to harvest your Tabasco peppers, you can just kind of lean the bush over your wheelbarrow or your bucket and just literally shake the plant like that, and it'll fill up with peppers. You don't even have to pick them. And if you got like 100 plants growing, you'll fill a wheelbarrow up quite quickly with very little effort, because they literally separate from the calyx like this. They literally separate like instantly. Now, however, you can let them dry with the calyx on it like that, like I do, and a lot of times I will dry these out, and for fun sometimes I will make what's known as a ristra with those. And when I get to like this stage, I just kind of weave them together, and I make this thing. It looks like a pack of firecrackers long, and I'll make them really long. It'll be all these little peppers like this, all weaved together. And I do it more for an ornamental reason, if I want to hang something in my kitchen, and at the same time I could just simply pop them right off, and I got instantaneous dried Tabasco peppers. So let's give you a better look at what a Tabasco pepper looks like. Now these are already starting to dry. Now this is an upright pepper. These will grow like this on your plant. They do not grow downwards, they are uprights. This is a Capsicum frutescens. And as you can see, and hopefully my camera will focus, it doesn't like to focus for me, you can see what it looks like. It'll be an upright, it would look something like that. Okay, so let's do a taste test on it. Now these are dried out a little bit, and I kind of wanted to do that because eating these things when they're wet for me is very hard. A gas will come out of it, they go right up into my sinus, and I will start having a sneezing fit like you wouldn't believe. I don't know why that happens, but with Tabasco peppers it happens, and it happens pretty hardcore to me. I mean, I literally get sneezing to the point where I can't catch my own air. That's how bad I get it from Tabasco peppers. Now, will that happen to you? I don't know. It could. Happens to me. And forget about trying to clean seed for these things. It's a nightmare. I'd rather dry the pods out. For example, I let them dry in the pod like that, and then once they're fully dry, then I separate the seeds from it that way. If you try to get the seed from the pods while they're still wet and fresh and you try to squeeze them out, you got to wash those out clean out of the sink to get the seeds out of it. And man, that gas that comes off of there is extremely potent, and I get these sneezing fits where I cannot catch my breath. So I rather dry them out, either let them dry on a plant like I did here, or take them out and then let them dry in the sun for about a week during the summertime when it's still, you know, hot out, and they'll dry relatively pretty quickly. And it's easier for me, number one, to store the seed, and number two, I'm not getting hit with that gas, because for some reason these peppers really do get me good. So let's take a small one, and let's do a taste test on that one right there. Hopefully this one ain't moldy. Let's break the end off of that, just make sure it's good. Sometimes you got to be careful because there could be mold in there. I got a little piece right here. Let's see what that tastes like. Definitely hot. Wow. Holy moly. That little piece that I just ate, that thing is loaded with heat. Woo! These are really hard to eat, man. Tabasco peppers, they're very hard to eat like this. Yes, if you're making sauce with it, Tabasco sauce, or you're going to make salsa or something like that, then you're fine. Eating them raw like this, just by themselves, that's hard. It's just because of the type of pepper that it is and the way it affects your mouth. It's really hard to eat these. I could eat habaneros. I could eat scorpions easier than I can eat these Tabasco peppers. It's the type of heat that it is, and it's also the other effects that are in the capsaicin itself. They really affect me very much differently than a capsaicin chianti or something like that. Yeah, those are hot. You go through the whole thing. These, on the other hand, affect my sensory system a lot different. Even though it's not as hot per se as a scorpion, they totally affect my sensory system differently. I start sneezing. I start getting hiccups from eating them. But they really hit me hard. All right, so as far as the heat goes, the heat is a striking type of a heat, very direct and very potent, and it comes out right away. It's not instantly. It took about 30 seconds for that heat to really, glow and fire up, and now it's peaking and it's already starting to come down. That's typical with any capsaicin frutescens. You'll get that immediate glow, hits you really strong, and it really tapers off quite quickly. But the type of heat that it is a thorough, spreading type of a heat. It just it started off in like one region of my tongue, and it just migrated all the way across areas of around the tip of my tongue, mostly the tip. It started burning my lips and my gums, a little bit on the roof of the mouth, mostly in the front of my mouth where I chewed it. And it just migrated from there. That's the type of heat that is. Tabasco peppers are very known to be a very hot pepper. Not so much because it's high in Scoville, but because of all those attributes to it that really affect your palate in so many different ways that a lot of other peppers generally don't. And so Tabasco peppers are some of the, in my opinion, if you were to rate it as far as power of a pepper, we all know what buchalocas are super powerful and everything like that. These would be just in my opinion, getting near that buchalokia power. And I'm not just talking about the burn from it. I'm talking about all the other effects you get from eating that. Sometimes I get itchy on my face from eating these things. I'll start sneezing. I'll start coughing when I eat them. It just does different things. So I take that into account with this particular variety of pepper if I'm trying to compare it to a buchalokia, for example. It's up there as far as, it's not as hot as a buchalokia, but it's definitely up there as far as the force of that pepper. That thing has got, there's a fury that comes with the Tabasco pepper unlike any other pepper. Those peppers have a force that can't be reckoned with. That's why it was chosen to make Tabasco sauce, because of the type of pepper that it is. It's an immensely powerful pepper. You don't underestimate a Tabasco pepper. A lot of people think, it's just another wild bird pepper. Let me tell you something, that even the birds would probably have a hard time eating those things. They're really hard to eat. But I do like them, and I do like to make sauce with them. I do like to dry them out and make flake with them. They make a really good flake, guys. If you're if you're a powder person, for example, you want to grind that up into powder and use it that way, that's fine. I'm a flake type of guy. I like to flake my peppers and then put my flakes on top of my food as I eat it. I like to do it that way. If you've never tried flaking your peppers, you might want to try that and see if that's something you'd like. I personally prefer that over powder. Powder is good, though, if you're going to add it to cooking. So you might want to do that. But these peppers are primarily known to be used to make sauce. And the main reason for that is the whole inside of that pepper, when they're freshly picked off that plant, that whole inside of that pepper is like one big soft inside of a melon that you can squeeze. And you just literally take this pepper, you break the end off it, and you squeeze it, and the whole inside comes right out. You're left with nothing but the skin left. What's good about that is you get the insides out that you can make the sauce with, and the skins, you can just dry those out, let them dry in the sun, and then grind those up and make flake or powder with them. And the insides, you're making the sauce with it. And that sauce is very, very unique. If you've never had real good homemade Tabasco sauce, you got to try that. It's not the same thing as what you get in the store. What you're getting in the store is made with vinegars, and you got to have a real good homebrewed Tabasco sauce to really appreciate the value of Tabasco peppers. So anyway, I don't know what else to say about the Tabasco pepper. We'll revisit this again. I am wintering it over. We'll revisit it again in next year in summer. Hopefully it will produce fruit earlier, and we'll do a fresh pod review with it rather than some of these dry ones. But I figured I'd do one on the dry ones to give you guys kind of an idea of what maybe the dried one versions would be tasting like. We'll revisit it again next year, and then we'll do a fresh review. All right, so that's it. That's your pod review for the Tabasco pepper. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.